Good evening, guys. Sound check, sound check. Good evening. How's everyone? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Happy Saturday. Edward Kapoka, I see you. How are you guys? Greeting you in your time zone. Hope everyone is okay. Edward, only comments below, guys. Where are you watching me from? Comments below. Comments. Let's chat, guys. Let us chat today. Getting an update on the VP, Brian Musamba, Mulishandwa Brian. Yunza in the house. Then share by Yunza. Share. By Yunza, Chiteni, share. Let's discuss the message from the VP. Let us discuss the message from the VP. Gabriel Mubanga, good evening. How are you? Kapoka loud and clear. How are you guys? Mwaikala Shani. Joel Banda, Kalumbila, Munishani Abena Kalumbila. Brian Musamba, Northrise. How are you, Abena Northrise? Genesis, good to see you. We are here. Yes, so I have I read a message from the Vice President encouraging youths. What is your take, guys? What do you think about the message from the Vice President? What do you think about that message? Zane, good to see you. Abena Pulungu in the house. Cynthia, how are you? Long time. Raggy Charlie from Lusaka. Mubanga David. 50 to Alayamba, guys. Let's reach 50. At least 50. We few more people. David Mubanga, I'm fine. Munishani. Welcome. We are having Mr. Mark Lushimba on Monday, guys. Mr. Mark Lushimba is coming to join us Monday because to continue the discussion. Yeah, so on Thursday, he gave us a brief history. So on Monday, he's coming back. Mr. Lushimba is coming back Monday, and you prepare your questions. If you have questions that you want him to answer, you can send them to me, so I can send them to him, so he can be ready. Zane, good to see you. Yes, guys, Felix Mianda, hi, how are you? My nephew. So Mr. Mark Lushimba will be here on Monday, 20 hours, make a date. And he has asked me if you have any questions, send the questions to me, and then I can send them to him so he can prepare and answer for the big meeting on Monday, 20 hours. How are you guys? Mulishani, let's get started. Share. Share, guys. Share. At least to Konango 50, and then we'll get started. Let me share as well as people join. I'll be sharing. Let me share in the groups as people join. Share, guys. Share. To the low, the number is low. I know people are busy. It's Saturday. That's why I came early so that I can go and do other things. Chitani share, Chitani share. So guys, yes, Chitani share, Chitani share. So I want to look at the message which from the VP. I'm just going to read it and then we can comment. I've pinned it on my page, guys. If you haven't seen the message, I've pinned the message. It's somewhere on my page. So we can get started. We can get started. Ooh, thank you. It's hot. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks. So I have the message here, guys, from which was today, February 10, by the Vice President, and we'll get started. They'll catch up with us. Otherwise, if you're busy, you can watch this video later. Follow me on YouTube. You can watch this video later. You can watch it here on Facebook, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay in touch, stay updated. So we have a message. I'll get started, guys. We have a message to say, HH has not forgotten you. VP tells you PND youths, which was today. So Lusaka UPND Vice President Nalumango has assured youths in the country that the Vice President has not forgotten them and is in course in improving their lives. So point number one, she says the President has not forgotten and is in course in improving our lives, youth's lives. Miss Nalumango was speaking when she met youth leaders drawn from 7 constituencies of Lusaka in Chilanga at the party secretariat today. So Mrs. Nalumango, Miss Nalumango met the youth at the secretariat. So I'm thinking, did she have a permit? You know, did Mrs. Nalumango have a permit to meet the youths? Because they just arrested Kambwili, but Dr. Kambwili for illegal gathering. Follow me here, guys. Because we are saying that in Zambia now we are in a mini dictatorship. Mamona, see where I'm coming from. So as I said, the President has not forgotten them and is on course. So we are going to discuss in detail. So make note of that. 1, the President has not forgotten. 2, she had a gathering at the secretariat. So those are the 2 points we are going. She said the President and the entire cabinet is working hard to ensure that development is delivered to the youth, whom she described as equal partners in national development. 3, I'm going to write these things down because we are going to discuss these things in detail. So 3, we are equal partners. That's what she said. Point number 3, youths are equal partners. Because these people, they are very clever with words. So now we have to hold them accountable, guys. Immediately they make a statement, we have to come in and scrutinize that statement. She said, share, guys, share. And join. There's a Zoom link later. You can join and we discuss these things. We discuss the points that I'm writing down. So number 3, the Vice President says we are equal partners. And then she says, I encourage you to have a positive attitude by accepting the things that are done step by step, and your time is coming. I am appealing to our youth to support each another whenever opportunities come up, as success of one person creates room for another to climb the ladder, she advised. So she's saying Point number 4, support each other. So the VP said we support each other. And I'm going to discuss all these things. Ms. Nalumango, who's also Republican Vice President, has challenged the youths not to lose track and encourage them to be consistent and persevere in their day-to-day activities and look into the bigger national picture of what the government is doing in bettering socio-economic status. So the youth have been told to look at the big picture. So youth have been told to look at the big picture. This is a well-written speech, actually. I give credit to whoever wrote this speech. She also cautioned the youth not to fall in the trap as that of the PF by promoting lawlessness, as she has encouraged them to continue on the path of peaceful coexistence, as violent behavior is one of the many reasons that Zambians voted PF out, right? So no violence. She talked about violence, no violence. We'll discuss all these things. The Vice President said the government should continue engaging stakeholders, including youth, in implementation and execution of Constituency Development Fund, CDF, as well as the Economic Empowerment Commission, so that requirements needed to secure empowered funds are relaxed in order to enhance youth participation. So she talked about CDF and CEC. And the Minister of Technology, Mr. Mutati, who attended the meeting, said it is time for youth and leaders to regularly interact and exchange notes. Tell us, quote, tell us where it is hurting. You have given us an obligation to talk to you, and our doors are open for engagements with you, he said. This is Mr. Mutati. So Mr. Mutati is saying his doors are open. My youth, you can go and see him. And the last paragraph, it says, and UPND-SG, Gertrude Menda, thanked the Vice President for finding time to interact with the youth, saying the interaction is a milestone in addressing some of the concerns raised by the youths. So finally, by Menda, she said the thank you to Mama SG thanks BP. So guys, this is a summary. I have summarized the speech. I have summarized the speech by the VP. Let me just go quick recap on the summary. Number 1, I didn't write down number 1 and number 2. Let me write down number 1 and number 2. Okay, number 1 is saying the HH has not forgotten them. That's number 1. And number 2, they met at the secretariat. They gathered at the secretariat. So I think that, I think this was a very good speech, I think this was a very good speech by the VP. It was a good speech, but we are just going to, scrutinize everything she said to the youths. I just want to dissect this. I want to dissect this speech, guys. Share. Let's get started. So to summarize, the speech by the Vice President has got 9 points. Number 1 is the HH is still working. He hasn't forgotten about you. Number 2, there was a gathering by the VP at the secretariat. Number 3, she said the youths and government are equal partners. Number 4, she said the youths must support each other. Number 5, she says, look at the bigger picture. In number 6, she said youth no violence. In 7, she talked about CDF and CEEC. And number 8, Mamutati says his door is open. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are scrutinizing the speech by the VP. So point number 8 in her speech, she says Mamutati's door is open. And the last paragraph in that speech, the Secretary General thanked the Vice President for making a timely effort to address the youths. So this is what, so now I'm reading all your comments. Dorothy Nyarenda, good evening. Cyrus Shileko, keep it up. Thank you, Zane, good question. UPND, seriously. So I'm going to comment on all these points, guys. I'm going to give my opinion on the VP's speech. So on number 1, she says HH has not forgotten about you. Okay, thank you for assuring the youths that HH has not forgotten about them. But I am here to say, why is it taking close to 2 years for HH to prioritize the plight of the youth, to empower, to deliver his campaign promises? Why is it taking almost 2 years? And now, after 1 year, is it 6 months or 7 months? 1 year, 6 months, we see the Vice President coming and pleading with youths to be patient with HH. I think this is really, really unfair, because now the situation is really bad in the country. And after 1 year, let's see, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Yes, 1 year, 6 months. 1 year, 6 months later, when you promised immediate change upon coming to power, UPND and the president promised immediate change for the youth's lives. Now it has taken the vice president and the president and the UPND 1 year, 6 months to come to the youth and ask them to be patient, because HH is still working. Now, I think like I am here to say that this idea of thinking youths are going to buy in your stories, your lies, is gone. But deep in about HH, you cannot continue lying. You cannot continue coming to the people with these speeches that are promissory in nature, as if you are in campaign. We are not in campaign. You took over the instruments of power 1 year and 6 months ago. When you don't took over instruments of power, they have come 1 year, 6 months later to tell you to be patient. Meanwhile, they are empowering other people. They are empowering themselves. They are empowering their friends and families. They are empowering foreigners. We say no to this. Me, personally, I say no, because the youth come crying to me about their problems, to see, Mama, you were the one campaigning for this government. See what they are doing. 1 year, 6 months, they come with another story, another promissory note. We are not going to accept it. Bana Rumango, thank you. Your speech was well written, but we are not accepting it, because we want a speech which has solutions to say by youth, you wanted this. This is what we are doing. This is what we have done. Go tomorrow to this office or this department or this ministry and access A, B, C, D. We want solutions. We are tired of excuses and the excuse on top of excuse, lies on top of lies. Tuanaka. So I'm just here to say, Abanyu Doni, by VP, Go tell the president that the youths are tired. They are not going to buy in your excuses and they are impatient. Apopo fifikile nomba. They are impatient. 1 year, 6 months. Mwalenda ti mushomonto nga imitefu mwala fiala popeni. Tafiala popeni omuntu bati umwana itwali mufiala. Umwana nomba twali imitefu mo. Twafiala umwana in 9 months umwana nomba namba no kumena mbulu. Namen, I'm sure. Sorry, I mean umwana nakwata meno. The baby, UPND baby, is now almost walking. It's crawling. It has teeth. But meanwhile, the youths that suffered, there's nothing happening for them. So point number 1, I reject it. Don't come with VP. We lie sapano cooking up stories. I am a politics. I have lashimiko to shimikale apwa. You are just tying yourself into a deep, you're putting yourself into more problems. You are in campaign mode. You are not campaigning, you are ruling. You have the instruments of power. So the youths are not going to accept these promissory notes. After 1 year, 6 months, if everybody else is waiting, we are going to accept it. But other people are being taken care of. Yourself, my president, we saw a president, an award was, a contract was awarded to his company. Meanwhile, Ama youth will never pay whatever, CDM and all those things. It's ridiculous. Let me just read the comments. Cyrus, I see you. HH Nijon Tushimi. Good evening. Watching live from Chinsali. Abena Chinsali, Chiteni Share. Dorothy Nyerenda. I see clarification. Was her one of the. Okay, she had a meeting. Say she had a meeting with the youths, which brings me to point number 2. Now we are told that the vice president had a meeting at the secretariat. Did she have a police permit? Did Lumango have a police permit for that gathering? Because they just arrested Kambwidi and kept him in inhumane conditions. So when Lumango, the VP, because no one is above the law. Zambia, we are a democracy. That's the thing they are forgetting. They should not make this Zambia into a banana republic or dictatorship. No, Wakana. And we'll continue to call you out. It's hypocrisy of the highest level. I'm talking about point number 2. She said, thank you for the youths going to see her. But last week, it landed Wakambui in hot soup. Because he didn't have a permit. No, by Lumango, where show us. I want Lumango to post a copy of the permit that was issued by the police. Otherwise, if you didn't get a permit, if there was democracy really prevailing in the country, police will arrest you for illegal gathering at the secretariat. Let the Zambian systems run. Zambia is a democracy. Do not use your position today as vice president or president to oppress people and bring anarchy in the country by draconian dictatorship tendencies. You were hosting a youth secretariat. Did you have a permit for it? Did you? If you had a permit for that gathering, I want to see it. Because you arrested Kambwili and taken him to a remote police station because kids went to his house. We want to see a permit. I want to see a permit. These people, they cannot be playing and squatting in Bola. They want to play and squatting in Goma. when we are the one who hired them. By our vote, they have forgotten their public servants. So that is my point on that. We want to see the permits for the youths, we want to see the police permits together. Ama youths, wherever in secretariat, did they have a police permit? Did they? Because the same people they arrested Kabui. That's my point number 2. Point number 3, the VP talked about that we are equal partners. Youths and the government, we are equal partners. We are not equal partners. You cannot equate yourself naba youth. Ima mule fola, mulelia, mule chitafionsefa mule fire. You actually, I think the cabinet gets free food, get free accommodation, free transportation. You are not equal partners with the youth. Ama youth bale chula. Ama youth bale chula. Not only the youth, even people who, grown people who are businessmen who invested their time and money. There's a video circulating of a guy who lent his vehicle for campaign to one of the ministers. Immediately that minister became elected into parliament, he switched off his phone. So this guy is on social media pleading for people, donations to help him fix his car because his car was damaged, campaigning for UPND. And then another man who's UPND came and started saying that you didn't sign a contract to campaign for UPND. If whatever you used, it was out of your goodwill. So go figure yourself out. I'm just like, oh my God. You know, I'm like, what kind of government do we have? Umuntu ita sacrifice ukupera motoka yakwe. Minister awina ashinyana phone. Nobody, even me, I sacrificed 3 months of my time. I sacrificed my time. I did not sign a contract, but it was an agreement based on good faith to say the promises, he said things will change. And for me, why I campaigned is, I'm a youth ballet chula. If their life improve, that is a payment for me. Opportunities, I can sleep in peace. Now I don't sleep in peace. Everyone, they're asking for this, Mama, I need this, Mama, I need this. You have not created opportunities. The CDF is a white elephant. CDF teyakumona. So imwana lumango if yomulela ndati we are equal partners. Stop lying to the people. Because if you continue telling lies, you continue telling more lies to cover up more lies. It will be layers of lies. Youths are not equal partners with you and Alumango and your government. They are not. What do you mean youths are equal partners? Youths are equal partners? Stop it. Yes. Zain, I see you. Gesham Kalombo. Good evening, Queen Pumi. Continue exposing their lives. We are very, yes. That's why I say, I am a speech here, this is a speech for campaign period. This is not a speech which should be delivered by a ruling government. You know, this speech should contain solutions. To say you cried for A and we have done B. This is what we have done. At this level we are at, we need to see results. We need speeches that are providing solutions and results. We don't need speeches of excuse after 1 year, 6 months of running government. Meanwhile, muledi ya mwema ministers, muledi ya mlefola, ama contract yenu mwali poka mwali signer, ama CDF, mwali signer kuni babrulu wenu, and people who matter, your friends and family, and foreigners. Ema nenila. Eno muleba baba youth that you are equal partners. Equal partners, my foot. We are not going to accept your lies, and we'll continue accepting, exposing your lies. So to have point number 3, guys, if you're just joining, we are looking at the VP's speech. And then she also said support each other. She urged the youth to support each other. That one, I think, the youth are already supporting each other. The youth are already supporting each other. You know, if you see youth, they are all in groups, they are in cliques, they are supporting each other already. We see them eating together and sharing the little they have. So even me on this one, I think that's the only one that I'm agreeing with the VP of supporting each other. Point number 4. That one, yes, but you think, as the VP said, I agree with her here. Be your brother's keeper. Look out for each other. Situations are tough. So, by youth, let's support each other. This one, I agree with her. And then number 5, she says, look to the bigger picture. You know, she says, look to the bigger picture. And this bigger picture I see is where we had our brother from Congo, Mark Lushimba. He gave us a history lesson. And Mark Lushimba is a Pan-Africanist. He's from Congo. And he has done some videos highlighting the Zambia-Congo MOU, which is currently taking shape between HH and Tshisekedi. So looking at the bigger picture, guys, information that is coming in, it doesn't look good. Like if we look at the bigger picture of Zambia, to be honest, information that is on the ground, things don't look good. Why am I saying this? Things don't look good, guys. So the president says, the VP says, let's look at the bigger picture. Now, let me give you, I'm not going to go in detail about the bigger picture, but I'll just touch lightly on the bigger picture that the VP has told the youth to focus on the bigger picture. So for me, the way I see things is like, okay, they've been in government for 1 year, 6 months. And then this 1 year, 6 months, they have run out of the country. Most of the contracts that we are seeing are still being given to foreigners. And also the president himself got a contract in his name. And yeah, mining licenses are still continuing being issued to foreigners. And if local people get a license, I was reliably informed, if local people get a license, that license does not include the high value minerals, which are costing, you know, high prices. So the minerals which are very, very lucrative, like lithium and the sugolite, whatever, you can't even say the names, copper, manganese, the contracts are continue to be awarded to foreigners. And we have seen they want to sell one of the mines to some Zambian, nobody even know him. And they say, the people who know him say that, I mean, what I want to say is he doesn't have money. The people who know him says that person whom they want to sell the mine to doesn't have money. So is this just a front? Are they using people to buy, funding these people to buy these mines? The whole picture, the national picture doesn't look good. I can say the national picture would look good if we are seeing a situation where they are selling mines and Zambia is owning 51%. Then I can say by youth, they are doing the right thing. That's point number 1. if they are taking mines and repossessing mines as a government, we have ZCCM. If they are taking those mines back and bringing them to be run by ZCCM and owning 51%, at least minimum, then I can say by youth, things are looking okay. They are bringing these mines back to be owned, nationally owned. Zambia should own, not nationally owned, but Zambia should own at least 51%. But that is not happening. You saw the mine for First Quantum where they took it to receive royalties and we are only getting 3%. 3% is nothing, guys. So they actually changed the whatever monies are supposed to come in from that First Quantum mine. We are actually going to be receiving less from what we are actually going to receive. From what, yeah, we are receiving less from what we were receiving. So if you look at our country, the way things are, if they are signing deals to actually receive less than we are actually were receiving, how do you think your lives will change? That's why things are from bad to worse. We jumped from a frying pan to a fire. That's what we did with this new dawn. Things don't look well on the bigger picture. The other thing that I want, the other indicator, guys, all these things, and you must, Zambians need to learn to read. All this information is out there. It's on Google. ZNBC is a government controlled. So they are not going to report stories that are going to make the government look bad. That's why they are reporting things which don't really matter. You know, we have big pages. We have big social media pages with millions of followers. And, you know, in the morning, the first thing they do, these pages, including the president's page, they are posting Bible verses. So guys, this makes you think to say, why information is being denied from Zambians? They don't want you to know what is really going on out there. That's why previously around the world in dictatorship countries, they close radio stations and media stations of the opposition or anyone saying something against the current government. They used to close the stations, but now they don't close the stations. They just pay people who are running those pages not to report anything negative about the current government. So I can say that most of these pages who are not reporting anything, they are paid by the government not to report. But I am saying you Zambians, do not rely on Zambian news stations. Go out there, read information is there on the internet. People are posting articles day and night about Zambia, what's going on there. People are posting articles day and night about our president and how disappointed they are with the turn of events, how the president has turned out to be a so-called puppet of the West. Information is out there, you have to read, but don't rely on Zambia media stations. They have all been compromised, most of them. The pages that have millions of followers, they are compromised. You will not hear these things from their pages because the government does not want you to know what it's really doing. So the bigger picture I want to say is that on the bigger picture, I just wanted to say that, you know, this Zambia-Congo deal, what is happening in Zambia-Congo, in Congo DRC, there has been a war, almost 30-year war. And what is happening there is modern day slavery, guys. If Ileshika Congo is modern day slavery, there are documentaries, there is information everywhere. It's heartbreaking to see what is happening in Congo. It's modern day slavery. Our ancestors sold our forefathers into slavery, into the US and many parts of the world. Black people were taken as slaves, sold by our ancestors. And it seems this trade is not ending because our leaders now are actually bringing the so-called investors to enslave us in our own land. What is happening in Congo is modern day slavery. 5-year-olds working in mines. Why am I talking about this? Because our president has gone to Congo and they are signing a deal. And our president, he says he's a Democrat. How can you sign a deal in a country where there are slave working conditions for that same lithium we want to bring in Zambia? The lithium, cobalt, the lithium and the cobalt that our president wants to bring to Zambia, they call it blood lithium. It's blood cobalt, because people are dying to mine that. It's a toxic chemical. There are no safety gears, safety measures. Kids, mothers and babies are working in those mines. So why does our president want to be part of modern day slavery and use Zambia to be a base to promote modern day slavery of our fellow brothers? Congolese, they are part of us. Some of the families who live in border towns, they have families in Congo. So in the national picture, the vice president is saying, look at the big picture of things. But the big picture of things is that this UPND Don government is supporting modern day slavery in Congo. If they mean well, they can try and bring peace to Congo so that at least we stop child labor. The child labor that is happening in Congo must stop. These same multinational, multi-million-dollar organizations who are employing, using child labor in Congo, in the countries where we come from, a 5-year-old, if you just shout at a 5-year-old in these countries where these people who own these mines come from, you shout at a 5-year-old, the police will come and arrest you. If you don't take a child to school in these Western countries, as a parent, you'll be arrested. So these are the people who are coming, who are mining these minerals in Congo. And the children are being used in those mines. And they are saying nothing. So the problem is us, African leaders. And for me, that's why I address the youth to say, youth, you have to change Zambia. Put in leaders who will care for the welfare of all people, any human being. It doesn't matter, I'm here, wherever I am. If a child is being abused, I should speak up. It should not change me because I am somewhere in Europe, and then a child is being abused, then I'm upset. But I am okay for our children to be abused in Africa. No. And what is upsetting for me is for my president to sign his name to a country or a business that is going to be using child labor. That of all the things that is upsetting to me is our president has agreed to sign a contract with a country where there's modern day slavery. That is what is upsetting me. Because if the president signs a contract with a country where there is modern day slavery, it means that it's just a matter of time before those same conditions come to Zambia. He has agreed to it. He doesn't see anything wrong with it. Meanwhile, his children are in other countries learning. I'm sure Mr. President and the Vice President, all their children, they went to nursery school. Why can they help to bring conditions that I recognize the value of human beings in Congo. If you see the images of Congo and what is happening in those mines, it's terrible. It's modern day slavery. Modern day slavery. And this is where our president went to sign on that deal to use child labor, and he has not even told us. On that, I'm talking about the national picture. The president has even failed to tell us how Zambia will benefit, apart from the industry factory there. They are going to hire, I don't know how many people. What percentage are they going to get? Because out of that same lithium deal in Congo, Congo is only getting 10%. Can you imagine? Congo is only getting 10% of that lithium deal. So how much is Zambia getting? So guys, on the national picture, things are bleak. If in Tutafiri we know, Tafiri we were too. And all these pitches, they're just buying time to put their moves in place, their deals in place. They are buying time to put their deals in place so that you are not, upset or trying to ask them questions. So that is on the national picture. And then no violence, the 60th point is no violence. And I agree with her, no violence. Let us be peaceful in whatever we are doing. Zambia will be known to be a peaceful country. Let us continue to be peaceful, and let us continue to practice democracy and respect the rule of law. And then number 7, the VP talked about CDF and the CEEC. Madam Mutarena Lumango, this CDF, you are giving people blank checks. First of all, the people who are lucky enough to do all the paperwork, when they go to the bank, there's no money. And this other thing, CEEC, is a loan. I am told that to access CEEC, you need collateral. How many youths have collateral? Stop mocking the people. This CDF, as Mama would say, it's chiliva. It's a scam. Most people cannot even meet most of the youths don't even have the capacity to complete the paperwork. Stop lying to people. Stop lying to people. Stop lying to the youths. And then I move to the issue of Mutati, where he says he has an open door policy. But Mutati, you have an open door policy. What have you done in technology-wise to empower youths? Even to have a project to say, youths, this is a project, blah, blah, blah. Nothing, Mutati. It's a shame. It's really a shame. And lastly, our Secretary General said thanks to the BP for having the timely whatever meeting. It's not timely. Thank you. I don't even know what to say to you by Imenda. Oswell Chiota, nobody's trying to divide your country. We are just saying the truth. Zambia is a democracy. These people, this U-Don government, they lie to the Zambian people. Let them deliver their promises. Holding somebody accountable is not division. The politics, because these people, they are eating. They have millions of dollars in their accounts, locally and offshore. But look at the lives of Zambians. Zambia is already divided. If you don't know, Zambia is divided. UPND is finished. So me talking here, don't shoot the messenger, please. I'm reading your comments now. Yes. And then the last thing I want to talk about is that HH was a democratically elected president. Now, what we have seen in the governance of HH is like he is running this government solely by himself. We have a member of parliament. What are the members of parliament doing? HH has done a lot of questionable things and no one is holding him accountable. Nobody is asking HH to explain why he's doing anything. We had the opposition write to the US Embassy for a copy of the MOU. The opposition should have written to HH himself and written to the Speaker of the National Assembly to say, Madam Speaker, HH is signing these deals. Can he avail the documents? Because it's illegal. What our president is doing is illegal. Signing these deals behind everyone else's back is illegal. Nobody knows the contents of the deal. Zambia is a democracy. HH was democratically elected, and he must play by the rules of democracy. He cannot become a mini dictator all of a sudden. No. And that's what is giving me the power to speak here, because Zambia is a democracy. They are intimidating people. That's why Bakambwini was arrested. Bakambwini was arrested because of the same. But we turn around today, Vanalumango had a gathering. Did Vanalumango have a permit for that gathering? This is what we are saying. They are running this government like a Leyama nobody monarchy. And the president, HH, is the head of that monarchy, where he can make decisions that are going to plunge millions of lives into chaos. And we say no to that. Yes, Gary Kombo should be in jail for forcing a child to drink kachas. Zambia, we are a democracy. Zambians have always fought for their rights. We removed KK, Chiluba Isa, where was he? But UPND is the worst performing government because they came into power with a pack of lies, shameless lies. And now, Vanalumango, you can come on the platform and start to bring another speech to defend your excuses. Parliament is dead. Yes, that's the other thing. This parliament is supposed to hold Wahakainde accountable. Come to the parliament and explain what what deals are you signing with Tshisekedi? Is anyone asking HH to account for his behavior? No. Why? HH, we hear the jet was sold. Who sold the jet? Everything is done privately. We are a democracy. Other MPs, they are dead. So if these MPs are dead, what are they doing? They're getting free money. Members of parliament are getting free money because they are supposed, especially those in opposition, they are supposed to be talking, no one very quiet. It's a shame, really, it's a shame, because the poverty levels in Zambia, MPs now I don't even know what to say. I'm reading your comments, guys. Vincent Mwampe says African regimes, when citizens ask for permit, peaceful process, they are denied. Yes, yes. Yes. By HH, rule this country on the promises that you made. People voted for you because of the promises that you made. Mr. President, you cannot promise the people everything you promise and then turn around to be something else, to be a dictator, to be a mini dictator. It is wrong, Mr. President. It is wrong. Yeah. So I think that's it. That's all I had, guys. I'm just saying we are in trouble as a country because we landed ourselves into a mini dictatorship country now, and we were duped. You know, is all I can say. Is married to a pie for Nigalanda, and we all bought into the lie. We all bought into the lie, guys. And for me, that's why I talk here, because Zambia is a democracy. That's why I talk. But HH and the Vice President Nalumango can't get away with lies. Every day, they say, "Pull out a power and to Shamba Zambian people." And Africans need to wake up. African leaders, chalo chesu, you know, ichi chalo chesu. No one will come and develop Africa. Do not be a bait. Do not be a bait for some of these companies. My companies, quite small companies, quite systems. I can capitalize my weaknesses. Yeah, but the only thing is, they respect human rights. That's it. But in China, everywhere in the world, there are people who are gonna have money. These business people, and they always manipulate their way. Kunokwa America, it's form of business. Kwa businesses, like for example, that one common type of business where people are always duped is the mortgage business. You know, where I want to go to a paying under 30 years, I'm missing after one payment. But you know what? At least they respect human rights. They are social services, they are human services. And this for me that is my big thing, to say, why can't we have human services in Zambia? Why can't we have minimum wage? Why can't we have affordable shelter and the housing, clean water for everyone? Why? So are we Zambians less human? And the thing which hurts me most is like these leaders, once they are in power, they are drunk with power, and they think of regular Zambians to be less human than them. They think regular Zambians don't deserve a good life like them. They think regular Zambians don't deserve to have a good house, you know, their children going to nursery school. They don't think Zambians, poor Zambians' children don't deserve to have 3 meals a day, you know, to go to nursery school. Simple things which the government can do, but they're not doing it. But their children are golden eggs. Mama politicians, my golden eggs. Sending them to schools all around the world, drivers picking them and dropping them from school, putting them in international private schools locally and internationally. As you are living it up, our politicians, all we are asking is, as you politicians are living it up, enjoying the fruits of our birthright, we equally deserve it. Every Zambian deserves it. As you are eating, share the crumbs with the local Zambians. That's all. That's what I'm about. That is what I'm about, guys. It's nothing else to say. Think about the child who's sleeping in the street. Think about the miners who are making 2,000. Why can't you renegotiate those deals with the mining companies to pay the workers more, to put in safety for the miners and employment for our youth? Zambia has more money than people, but they don't care. They really don't care. That is what it boils down to. These African leaders or politicians, power, all they care about is their families, their friends, and the foreigners who are going to give them more money to be rich. It is sad. So that's it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow with another topic. Maybe tomorrow will be a social topic, but I will be here on Monday with Mr. Mark Rushimba, and God bless you. Send me questions about Mr. Mark Rushimba, and we'll be here. We'll host him Monday. We can talk more so that we, if possible, we are being warned. We are being warned. You know, some of these things that are happening in the world, they have happened before. So let us not be blindsided by closing our minds to people, to whistleblowers. It's important, guys. The way things are happening, people who are whistleblowers should not be ignored, but listen and try to see the sense in it. This is not a time to be campaigning, but this is a time to think of the future of Mother Zambia. Yes, this is a time to think of our children, our great-grandchildren. What will they become? If we ignore these whistleblowers, what are our children, our great-grandchildren, generations to come? What will they become? And it is scary, guys. Look at what is happening in Congo. It's modern day slavery. And who knew? I'm sure 30 years ago, Congo never thought they can be in such a position. And we have a government who is signing deals with a president who has slaves in his country. That to be blunt, Mr. Tshisekedi has slaves in his country. And he's being assisted with other presidents to enslave his own people. And our president has gone to Tshisekedi to work with them. So let us be warned. Because what the president has signed with Congo, it means that situation in Congo can actually affect us in Zambia one day. So let us think about this, guys. Let us say no to this. Let us uphold our democracy. Let us uphold the freedom which our ancestors fought for, Bakaunda. What they fought for our land and what is beneath under it. And let us fight to maintain that. And anyone who is has a plan to give away our land must be removed democratically. He must go. Any person who created land, who created intention, they're already doing it. All these crop of leaders must go because they're giving away our land against our will, displacing our own Zambians with no option. And the Banalumango has the right to, give us, be patient. It's a shame. Anyway, good night, guys. We'll be here, we'll be talking because we need to protect our children and our grandchildren. Zambia is our birthright. And if we see someone trying to take that away from us Zambians, that person must be stopped. And he was only going to be stopped if we start talking about it and expose those evil intentions. We have to stop it in the tracks before it takes root. Yes. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.